Welcome to docket 4510 WR 105. It's the application of the Village of Paddock Lake for authority to adjust water rates. And this is Mike Newmark, the Administrative Law Judge for the PSC. We have the Utility Commission staff and a member of the public in attendance. We noticed this hearing on Zoom, and we're live streaming on YouTube. So we've invited both Utility Commission staff and members of the public to attend. At this time, we'll take the way the hearing process works is we will first have the utility present, and we will have them swear them in, and also have them verify the filings in the case that they've made, and provide an opportunity for the utility to comment. And then we'll move on to commission staff and do the same, and then we'll provide an opportunity for the public to comment. We are taking public comments in writing as well, and they are due Monday, October 17th, either through the commission's website or by US mail. So far, we have no comments on file, but we do have a member of the public here, so hopefully we'll get some comments from that person. And so at this point, I'm just going to switch over to our document list. It's an email sent out by commission staff that indicates the documents filed in the case that we'll put in the record. So once we have those documents verified and entered into the record, and the recording of the hearing as well, that all becomes the record in the case that will be reviewed by the decision maker, which is the division administrator for the Division of Water Utility Regulation and Analysis. So that person will review the documents and the recording and make a decision based on the information that's been provided. I'm not sure, Alex, do you know who's going to decide this case at this time?
This will be Beth Beer.
Okay, all right. Okay, so at this point, we will have the utility start. So we do have the public notice that's filed with an affidavit, so no need to verify that. The rest of the documents are the typical sort of technical documents, the application, supplements, responses to data requests. You see that on the screen there. So who's best, who's available that can best verify those documents for us?
I can verify that those are accurate documents submitted to the Wisconsin Public Service Commission on behalf of the utility.
Perfect. Okay, just let me swear you in first, and we'll just do that with you with you sworn in. So let me ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Okay,
great. So just state your name for the record, please.
Timothy A. Popanda.
Okay, great. And so we're looking at those 7 documents starting on the list 2 through 8. Do you see those?
I do.
And are those documents complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, they are.
Okay, great. Did you have any comments?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Anyone else wish to speak on behalf of the utility? No? Okay. So move on to commission staff for the revenue requirement exhibit. We have, is it Kathleen?
Yes.
There you go. All right. So raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. State your name for the record.
Kathleen Butzlaw.
Can you confirm that the revenue requirement exhibit is complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Any comments?
Yeah, I just have one comment. And in the revenue requirement exhibit, commission staff requested that the utility make several revisions to the 2021 PSC annual report and file an amended report. And the utility did make those revisions and file that amended report.
Okay, thanks. All right, so move on to cost, service study, and rate design. Alex Hanna, do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And can you confirm that the cost of service study and rate design is complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Any comments?
I have no comments at this time.
All right, great, thanks. Okay, now we can turn it over to a member of the public. We have Alex Atia, is that correct?
I'm sorry, that is correct.
Okay, great. So let me swear you in and you can give your comment. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I had the opportunity to speak with Timothy Papanda, the village administrator from Paddock Lake, and he provided wonderful information. As I'm a resident at the Whitetail Ridge subdivision, it's a new subdivision in Paddock Lake residential subdivision. And I understand that our rates will be going up. And I know originally the plan was that as users and the volume of water use was increased, that our rates would go down. And I understand that there's a deficit of about $43,000. The only thing I'd ask, and I understand the reason for that deficit, Tim to fill me in on the information, but what I'd like to ask the commission to do is provide a formula that as users and volume increases and the number of users are added, that as current users that we receive immediate relief based on that formula from the rate increases, and the burden of the cost is reduced for us instead of waiting a longer period of time to experience that relief.
Okay. Anyone want to respond to that? Utility and commission staff?
If I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
We did, and maybe I didn't convey that correctly to Alex, but we did have a rate structure that was based on when our first approval for the construction and the implementation of the water utility district expanding. And we did meet that requirement of number of users, and the rate did go down from $12.21 per thousand gallons of water to $9.39. Part of the original agreement or directive from the Public Service Commission was that in 2 years' time, we would reapply for a rate case study. And that brings us to this point. We didn't generate the revenue that was anticipated. And based on the formula that's used by the Public Service Commission, the proposed rates that we're discussing today would be implemented. So that's my only comment, is that we did have that reduction. Obviously, the revenue is not where it should be, and we need to raise the rates. The one incident that Alex wasn't informed of, after speaking with him, I talked to Alex Hanna and asked that question by way of an email as to whether or not, if there were a certain number of users, or if we reached that revenue, could we then reapply under a simplified rate case, making it more easier for us as a utility to adjust those rates downward. And Alex was gracious enough to respond and give me the information that if we do have a number of users that would raise the revenue, that at that time we could apply to the Public Service Commission for not a simplified rate case, but a rate case investigation, and possibly adjust the rates at that time. So that's the utilities response.
Okay. Does the commission staff need any clarification, or do they understand the issue?
I would just add that everything Tim said is correct. Alex Hanna did check in with me before he responded to Tim. So it was kind of a joint response from Alex and I to his email. When the utility filed the rate case several years ago, as Tim said, it was done in 2 steps. One step that really included most of the construction project and the estimated customer base at that time. And then the second step, which was a rate decrease as more customers were added to the system. And since there were so many estimates and so many large numbers in the rate case, the utility was required to file another rate case this year to review things and see where the utility was at that point. And the utility actually did a very good job of estimating how many customers were joining the system. So the estimates in that second step of the last rate case were, very reasonable. In this rate case, there was very minimal impact on the numbers based on how many customers were or were not connected to the water system. The primary driver behind this rate increase was just increasing costs over the last 2 years. Like many companies and water utilities in particular out there are seeing with the inflation and the supply chain issues and everything going on right now, costs to operate the water utility have risen over the past 2 years. So that's really the main factor in this rate increase. We do not really have a simplified rate increase process as everyone's described here to decrease rates. Most likely when we get questions like this, what ends up happening over the next few years is the utility may be able to add additional new customers to the system, but the operating costs continue to increase. So they usually do not look at a rate decrease, but they are able to put off additional rate increases for several years. So that's usually what happens in situations like these. But if for some reason the utility would add a large number of additional customers and be interested in trying to decrease rates, it certainly can apply to do that.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Can I just make a statement?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
And I appreciate all the wonderful information. We're in a newer area, and there is going to be, based on development plans, large customer increases. Our subdivision, our residential subdivision, is going to be probably in the next year adding anywhere from 10 to 20 more homes. There is a Quick Trip that's going to be coming online. There's a Culver's that I understand, and Dunkin' Donuts that's going to be coming online. There's senior housing that's going to be coming online. So there is going to be substantial increase in customer use in the short term. And so that's why I'm asking for a formula to be inserted, or at least a knowledge as to when the reinvestigation would occur, so that we can minimize the rate increase. And I think due to the large customer increase, it may justify a decrease in water rates based on users and volume.
Okay.